Good morning. I'm Jim Spencer. I'm with the Bluefield, West Virginia Economic Development Authority, and thank you for being here this morning on a rainy day in Bluefield. And I've seen some of the folks that's out there in different places, Pam and Wise. It's good to have you with us this morning, and others. This little class came about after one of our other meetings we had in Faith, and Savannah and I were brainstorming, and this came out, and I told a story while we were discussing it. I've got a friend, a good friend, and I won't say his name because some may know him. And he'll send text sometimes, and I can't tell if he's upset, if he's joking, or what's going on. And so a lot of times when businesses are communicating with their customers, they got to be very careful on how they do that. And that's very important because this thing here is very important to us, but also it can be a double-edged sword, and we have to be careful. So I'm hopeful today that Savannah is going to give you some tips on how to take care of that problem.
No pressure. Would you mind to turn the AC off on this one? Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're ready for some digital etiquette. All right, so I'm going to dive right on in and let's talk about this Facebook post. A lot of these posts that I'm going to be using are mock posts, and a couple are going to be examples from where I used to work. So right off the bat, I'm looking at this. We are having a sale, tons and tons of exclamation points, all capital letters, high quality furniture. So what does this tell you, really? If I'm seeing this post on my timeline for a business in Bluefield, what does this tell you? What information is missing and what seems a little suspicious about it? I totally meant to launch a poll, so I'm going to launch a poll while you are here. So talking about this post, there's no photos of the furniture. Why are they yelling at us? And why are there weird raindrops going on behind this post? Check. And the writing is really informal in this post, and it kind of gives off kind of a suspicious vibe. I'm going to end polling. Thank you, guys. Let's see, everybody's doing good. Pretty awesome. Watching from the office, watching from their home. Cool beans. So let's talk about this really long, drawn out political post. This is extremely cringy, and this is something that you're going to want to stay away from your business. You can keep it on your personal page, but remember, screenshots live forever. A good example is the Sophisticated Hound Brewing Company posted this on Facebook, and then this is something that directly impacted their business and many other businesses in West Virginia. So there's a lot of movement around this, and this type of post is okay because this is straight business and you're rallying support. This is also kind of cringy. I posted this on purpose. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of colors. There's some kind of angry emojis going on, tons of text. It's kind of overwhelming. A whole lot of stuff going on, and you kind of have to think to yourself, would I click this? And if the answer is no, your target audience probably won't click in on it either. Something else to consider, and there's one piece of advice that we can give you, you need to write for the skimmers, and you typically only have a couple seconds to make an impression before they lose interest. And the saying goes is you only have 7 seconds to make an impression on someone reading your information. That's only 1 second shorter than the attention span of a goldfish. So we're all like a bunch of goldfish looking at emails, Facebook posts, Instagram posts. So for starters, using all caps in your entire post can be a little offsetting. It really seems like you're yelling at people. So it's a good idea to use a balance of capitals. For instance, down here, we put the little alert emoji. These are disappearing in 2 days. That shows a lot of emphasis, and that's all that's left. And then kind of breaking that up will draw your reader's attention right away to that first sentence of the caption, which is the most important part of the post, and that particular item is disappearing. Next up, we have ellipses. These are important to kind of create a pause, like a dramatic pause. We use it down here, the item you've all been waiting for, ... And you kind of want to say in your head, ... when you're writing something out. Is this the kind of dramatic pause that I'm looking for? And then moving in, we have a new recipe, ... Okay, what is it? What is your new recipe? It's kind of like a weird cliffhanger type of situation. So when you use a cliffhanger, when you're not really supposed to use a cliffhanger, it can kind of come off like a really weird, like, okay, vibe. The most perfect example I have is, let's say I emailed Jim. I asked to, leave early from work next Friday, and all he responds is okay, ... And then I have instant anxiety, and I'm wondering, oh my gosh, is he mad? Am I gonna get fired? What's going on? And so kind of avoiding that like unnecessary yelling or ellipses can save you a lot of weird communication. Next up, we have italics. We see these a lot in blog posts, and this is for emphasis on a subject. And if you can't use italics, you can use asterisks around the specific word, especially in your posts like Facebook or Instagram that doesn't allow italics. This is only used typically for 1 or 2 words, so I wouldn't suggest putting like an entire sentence in italics because you'll kind of lose the whole sentence being emphasized because italics are so spaced apart from each other. And for instance, we have the cookies again. We have a new recipe, and the new is in italics, and it kind of changes the tone of the reader's voice inside their heads. They're like, oh, it's a new recipe. Using bold, this can be used for a few words or a whole phrase. And this, again, kind of is similar to asterisks and putting in italics, but except you can highlight really important information. I'm sure the first thing that your eyes went to was May 10th. What about May 10th? We're not really sure. Maybe we should go back and read the entire paragraph. So for this one, we have a new recipe, and you're probably wondering what it is. So before that, you're probably wondering, wasn't really visible, but once I put it in bold, you're kind of following along with the dialogue that your reader will be having in their head. So this is my favorite one. When I'm driving around town and I see a lot of signs, I'll see a lot of people advertise, we have fresh hot dogs. Yikes. We have our new collection. We have free refills, and we offer free estimates. That's a little shady, and this is better to be put, to use these quotation marks around things that are opinionated. So best in West Virginia or Bluefield's best. And another example, if I wanted to use these same examples, I'm gonna put fresh hot dogs with fresh in italics. Our new collections is in caps and bold. Free refills are underlined, and free estimates we have a bold. That way it doesn't seem so suspicious. And then we have the quotations around new recipe. And again, that's kind of weird. We have a new recipe. Is it really a new recipe? Is it a recycled recipe? Is it your grandma's recipe that really isn't new? We got a lot of questions. And now we have underline. The best use of an underline is to completely disrupt the pattern of your reader. So you're going to want to use this again for important information, but it's one of those things where if they do not read anything else, they're going to read whatever it is that you have underlined. Again, they can skip to that, and you can interchange having bold and underline, especially if your phrase is a little bit longer than you. Then there's the concern around staying hip. So when you're posting on social media and you see people using specific trends, like for instance, I put the glitter emojis before and afterward the word hip. And this kind of creates an emphasis as if I was using those asterisks. So instead of using asterisks, I'm using the glitter emoji. And this creates that emphasis on the word staying hip. I recommend using urbandictionary.com at your own discretion. If there's something that you see that people are posting about, oh, that's, I'm hip, the word hip itself, what does that even mean? You can go on urbandictionary.com, you can look up the word hip, and you'll have a better understanding, so you can use those types of informal language. And that kind of moves into utilizing colloquialisms that everyone knows. If you are your business, you need to make it sound like you. So if you use a lot of colloquialisms and stuff like that when you're talking and interacting with your customers, you can kind of transition that into your social media as well. And you want to keep in mind that everyone will see what you post. So if you're posting on your business page and grandma follows you, the president of the United States follows you, maybe your boss follows you, you want to keep that in mind. The biggest key is watching other businesses and especially competitors and see how they post and see how they interact with their audience. This can give you tips on what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and you can kind of use that as a trial and error kind of situation and move into being more comfortable with what you're posting. So I kind of use all of these in a one sentence ordeal. Hey y'all, we're open. You typically don't see a lot of people using y'all, but around here, that's something that we can use. COVID-19 has been tough to say the least, but we are so thankful to our loyal customers and staff for helping us through this difficult time. So in this one sentence, like I mentioned, when you're writing for skimmers, we're open, we're thankful, come and see us. Another thing to think about before you post is your post going to upset somebody? Is it going to confuse somebody? Is there any way your post could be taken the wrong way? If you're unsure, you're going to want to screenshot what you're about to post and send it to a few different people to test out how it sounds. And the thing is no matter what you do or what you say, there's probably going to be someone who's going to take it a weird way because it's hard to tell your tone over the internet. And that's exactly why we've talked about the underlining and the bolding and the asterisks and stuff like that, because you can really take, hey guys, we're offering our new collection. Or we can say, hey guys, we're offering our new, and I'm gonna put like asterisk collection. It's better to be proactive than it is to be reactive. Like I mentioned, there will always be someone with a problem with what you have to post, and you're going to want to be a bigger person when responding to them. So a couple examples that I've used is we see your point and completely understand, please allow us to clarify what we were trying to say. We sincerely apologize for the confusion. What we actually meant to say was this. Faith, I see you looking at me funny. And that's all that I have for you guys. Short and sweet and to the point. There really isn't a whole lot on digital etiquette. And the more you use it, the more you're cognizant about what you're posting, the easier it is to get into a rhythm.